7 Days to Die. Alpha 14, is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the fun pimps. 7 Days to Die is an open-world voxel-based sandbox game that is a unique mix of first-person shooter, survival horror, tower defense and role-playing games combining combat, crafting, looting, mining, exploration and character growth. Yes guys, it's still in early fucking access after all this time. Are they just milking early access? Because guys, early access puts you in the chart, in that lucrative chart, guys. It keeps you in there. It keeps you in publicity. That's why people, don't be fooled guys, that's why people stay in early access for a long time. It's so they get into that league table of early access games. That's what it's all about, guys. There's the conspiracy theories out the way. This game has been in early access for a long time, and I wish they'd fucking have these people even got a fucking end game plan? Have they? I mean, what the fuck? You know, it starts off in Unity. Then no, Unity 5. We're going from Unity 4 to Unity 5. Okay, we'll give us Unity 5. Right, we've got Unity 5. We've got the big world. Let's go. Launch. Yeah. No, we don't like the world anymore. We're going to make it procedurally generated. That'll be better. So we wait another fucking year and then we get a procedurally generated world. And it's like, right, procedural generation, brilliant. Launch the game. Yay. No, because we want to overhaul all the graphics now and change the way the voxel land operates when you dig into it. So we wait another fucking 6 months and then we get that. And it's like, yes, right, launch. No, we're not going to launch yet because we want to add a motorbike. We want to add motorbikes and we want to change the crafting all the way around and add some new zombies. We're going to have fire zombies. We're putting some fiery zombies into the fire part. So another 6 months passes by and then we get the same fucking game with a motorbike, a fire zombie and a bit of change to the crafting. And it's like, right, now release the fucking wall. No, Mac, that's a game show. And then they come up with Alpha 14, and Alpha 14, they've ditched procedural generation and they've gone back to the original map. But they've added 100 new places, they made the map bigger and better, altered the crafting again, altered the graphics again, and it's like, fucking hell, mate. Have you even got a plan, or do you just fucking wake up in a morning and think, you know what? Fuck it, the game's shit. I'll redo the whole fucking lot again. A new map, new zombies, new crafting. It's like, you could have made 10 fucking games. You really could. You know, what gives? What you doing? Get a plan. Stop your fucking patches in your Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Just stop that. Get all your team together, Mr. Pimpface. Get a whiteboard. You can't beat the fucking white. I bet he's doing this by email. That's the problem. You've got to go back to basics. Get a fucking whiteboard and a marker pen. And you say, right, at the top of the put 7 Days to Die as a tile. Then underneath that, put what you want the game to be. And then what can you do with your budget? Because you don't have much money. You've only sold millions and millions of the fucking things. So you're loaded. You know. Draw up a plan and stick to it. Simple. So yes, guys, Alpha 14 has added blurriness when you first log in. It's added huge cities, towns, rivers, lakes, mountains, valleys, cave systems, roads and wilderness locations to the map that used to be procedurally generated, but now it isn't. They still have procedural generational maps, but you can go back to the main one now, which is, it's procedural generated maps suck, right? It's much better to make your own map. It really is. So what's the game like now then? Well, it's pretty much the same as it's always been. It just doesn't have the end. It doesn't have... Look, the problem with 7 Days, right, and it's a great game, probably the best survival game ever made, in my opinion. This is Unity. This is how you use a Unity engine. Not like the shit that I've been reviewing that has Unity engines over the last few months. This is Unity done right. They're not asset flippers, these actually know how to code. So yeah, Unity is not a bad engine, it's just exploited by a lot of shit developers, and these guys aren't shit. These have made a really good game out of this. So as I was saying, what was I saying? I was saying something really important, then I went off at a tangent. Shit. I'll only realise what it is when I'm editing it, and then I'll think, shit, it'll be too late. There's now stories where you have points of interest on the map. You get quests as well to do stuff in the form of little pieces of paper that you'll find. Maybe it's go and collect something or kill something and stuff like that. But like I was saying to you before, there is no end. That's what's missing in this game. You join the game, right? You scavenge to stay alive. You need your food, you need your water, you need to get wood, so you hit the trees, and the trees have been thinned right down, but you get a hell of a lot more wood from each tree now, which gets my vote because the game runs a lot better. You need the crafting in this game is brilliant. I love it. It's very deep. You craft hundreds and hundreds of items, and it is logical kind of crafting, not like the culling or anything like that. This is kind of logical crafting. You do have that sense of immersion. You have that sense that you are surviving off the land and you are progressing as you scavenge and loot and find blueprints and learn new recipes and build your own house. And building your house is so much fun. I love the old wooden houses, just building a house out of wood. They don't last long when the zombies attack it, but it's just nice to have a cabin in the woods, you know, a little log cabin there. And I always build like a couple of stories with a roof, and the roof is kind of my escape point. Well, not so much escape, but my last stand point. One of the things I do love about this game is the relentlessness of the zombies. I have built this house as a demo using the creative mode, which is just a mode where you can just get unlimited amount of blocks. I've just basically built a 3-story house. Any minute now I'm going to be attacked by a horde, because every 7th day a horde will come. Now I've got a few spikes outside the house, and I've got decent weaponry, but they will rip the house down to get at me. They will not stop. I either have to kill them or escape off the roof. You can do that by having an escape mode in your house. Probably a better way of doing this is to have an underground tunnel that leads to a safe place. The zombies will still track you, but it's easier to deal with them. Once they sense that you're there, they will rip your house down. And this is where this differs a lot from Minecraft and other survival games, where it's a bit more dumbed down. You know, they won't really go to town on your house, but these ones are just, they're going to rip everything. They're going to rip this house to pieces. And as you can see, the roof then collapses. I tried to get away, but I'm just dead. And when I come back the next day when it's daytime, you can see the kind of damage that it did. And that's just one wave on day 7, one of the early waves, and this isn't even on maximum difficulty. That's how brutal this game is, and that's what I like about this game. It isn't a hand-holding game. It is absolutely brutal. It is hard. It is unforgiving. If the zombies get your house, they will rip it apart. If you're playing this in co-op, it is a good idea to be all building in the same vicinity so you can cover each other's houses when there's a big horde comes. And even then, they can cause a massive amount of damage. But the problem with the game is there's nothing to do at the end of it. There's just nothing to do. You get all the stuff together and you've got your house and that, and well, what do you do now? I'm self-sufficient. I'm being attacked all the time by zombies. You see, for me, what this game needs an ending. It needs an objective. It needs something that you're working towards doing. Just going on and on and on is... You should have the option to do that when you've reached the ending, but it should have an ending. And I don't know what that ending is, because I'm not the developer of this game, but it needs to get a lot harder than it is. I mean, you can alter the difficulty to turn them up. I mean, the zombies on this game footage you're looking at are on level 2. There's 5 levels, so they get a lot more vicious than this. But even so, I mean, it just needs something to work towards, and I haven't thought of that yet. So that's my biggest gripe with this game, the lack of goal, the lack of purpose with it. And everybody who plays on, I mean, I've had loads of these servers, and I kind of end them all after about 2 months, because people just get bored. The people just get bored, and I haven't opened the server up yet to the public, and I don't think I will on Alpha 14, to be honest. So don't ask me what my server details are, because I'm not opening a server up to Alpha 14. So it's a toughie. It is a great game. I mean, don't get me wrong. The crafting is so much fun, building forges and smelting metal to make loads and loads of stuff with the metal recipes. I mean, just being able to upgrade your house and strengthen the walls and the doors using metal on wood is a really nice touch, because it gives you a sense that you're actually progressing in the game and making your house better, which is better than, you know, in games like Minecraft and that, where you just stick your blocks down and that's that. In this, there's a lot more upgrades to that, to your walls and doors and things, you know. There's also a lot of weapons to learn and weapons to craft and bullets. There's mining, there's big mines, there's huge underground caverns. There's a lot to explore in the game, but it just suffers from lack of end game. They made the zombies harder to hit with the bow and arrow. The heads move a lot now, and you miss more than you hit. Well, I do anyway. Shit shot Mac. But, you know, that's made it a little bit more scary when you're out there, which is quite a nice touch. But I think the same thing that I've said in a few of my reviews, and I think this is the third review I've done as I've followed the progress of this game, and there's one thing that needs taking out, and I've said it time and time again, and that is the fucking dogs. Not only are they ridiculous, they are ridiculous. I mean, a fucking Doberman zombie. Off. Get rid of them. It should be zombies. No Doberman zombies. And these giant flying fucking wasps. Or bees or whatever the hell they are. Get them out. I mean, bloody Nora. This is a zombie game, isn't it? Not a mutant game. Fair enough if it was mutated stuff, but it's not. It's zombies. You know? So, yeah, it's a bit shit, to be honest with you. I just don't like them at all. They don't do anything to enhance the game. They just make the game more annoying because the dogs are so overpowered. They're hard to hit because they run at you zigzagging and warping around the bloody shop, and then they just come over and rape your face. So it's a bit shit. They've added a massive skill tree to this game. As you progress with crafting, questing, killing, you get skill points that you can put in. It's like a perk system, really. There's a lot of different things you can put them in, from weapons, crafting, and all of that kind of stuff. It's not really a big thing for me. I'm not that bothered. And there's also a lot of things you can get to buff and debuff yourself. Loads and loads of drinks that increase the way you heal yourself, increase your stamina, make you run a bit faster, bring your heat down because it's a hot place out there, and if you put too many clothes on you'll overheat and then die of heat stroke. So you have to be careful. There's a lot to watch. There's a lot to watch out for in this game. So there you go, guys. 7 Days to Die Alpha 14. It's still getting the thumbs up from me. They haven't broke it yet, but for goodness sake, guys, finish the fucking game, please.